ball is very much in our court. The opportunity is there for us if we want it. And to date, we've shown that we have wanted it enough. But you've heard me say before, it's not important what you've done, it's what you're going to do. It's all about our next 11 games for us.
Yeah, the lads are ready. We're ready. We're looking forward to it. It's a big match for the fans, for the bragging rights, and Blackburn have held the rights for how long is it? 3 or 4 or 5 months, whatever it is, deservedly so on the day. So we've everything to gain, nothing to lose. We start the game as underdogs. Blackburn are an extremely good side, and we'll have it all on, but we'll give it our best shot.
See, I feel I have players who enjoy the big stage, and I think if you look at the performances we've had when we've been on television, they've been very good as well. Apart from maybe the first game, it was away to Sheffield United, I think, which was on television, and Sheffield Wednesday. Apart from those two, when we've appeared in big games and games on television, we have had the extra yard. And looking at our fixtures, we have several big games between now and the end of the season, and several games that are going to be on television. So I want us to maintain that type of attitude.
Been good 10 days or fortnight we've had, because we've been doing well. It's going to be like that, people talk about team spirits, and it is good, but you're always going to have that teams who are doing well. It'll be a test for us if we start to slip up 1 or 2 points, but at the moment we've had a real good trip away. There's a lot of youngsters in the side, 1 or 2 older ones, but there's a good atmosphere amongst them, good togetherness.
Graeme's team, although it's not for me to talk about other sides, will be promoted in my view. They've been an extremely good side. He's done extremely well with them. He's got very, very good players, and an even run of an even break and what have you. With the rest of the season, they will definitely, in my view, get an automatic promotion.
We'll be going out on Sunday. We'll be having the right go and try and win the game. Obviously, after they beat us at our place, I'll try and stay on the pitch for 90 minutes as well, give us more of a chance. But no, we'll look forward to the game. We'll have a right go. And at the end of the game, may the best team win.
I think you heard me say the last time we were going to play this game, it would be wonderful. And I know a lot of our supporters don't agree with it, but it would be wonderful. We're both in the Premier League next year, because I think, if you've got that local rivalry, it's great for the area. It makes the whole area buzz. It's not just one town buzzing. It makes the whole area buzz, and it'd be great if we were to go up, obviously, and if it was Burnley or Preston, someone who was very near us, because I think that helps the area. It would certainly increase gates. It would certainly increase the interest in football, as this derby game has this weekend. That's why you're all sitting here.
Yeah, it's a local derby, a massive clash again. Be a great atmosphere, and hopefully we can deliver for them.
I think in a derby game, I think it's a bit more cut and thrust. I don't think tactics really go out the window. It's all passion and endeavour and determination. And the first half an hour of a derby game is frantic and the fastest pace you're playing all season. And then as the game wears on, because of the energy you put into the first half an hour, the game does get stretched and players get tired. And I think it will be a more open game than some of the games we've had at Ewood this year, because you do know that teams are going to come here and sit back, and 1 or 2 sides have done it successfully. Even though Bury on the day we should have still taken the 3 points.
Marcus Benn became an instant Ewood hero when scoring his first Rovers goal at Turf Moor back in December. The former Sheffield United striker was at one time also linked with a move to Burnley, but was quoted in the press this week as saying that he never had any intention of moving there. Our referee Alan Butler will need to keep a cool head amidst the fierceness of local derbies. And he'll get us underway with Burnley kicking towards the Blackburn end in the first half. Good game for Rovers, not just because of the local rivalry, of course, but also 3 more points, hopefully, towards automatic promotion. The first thing to note is that Rovers have changed formation today. They play 3-5-2. Means Stig Bjorneby starts on the bench. Jason McAteer comes back into midfield. Alan Moore will sit alongside Gary Flitcroft in the centre, with David Dunn pushing forward and Damien Duff down the left. So after a 2-week break, Rovers begin the first of 9 games during the hectic month of April. Burnley, Sheffield United, Fulham, Huddersfield and Portsmouth at home. QPR, Stockport, Wolves and Grimsby all away, with this high noon showdown to start it off. Well, the game at Turf Moor just before Christmas was a turning point in both teams' seasons. Not only did it kickstart Rovers' rise up the table, but Burnley, who started the match above Rovers, began to drop back as the shallower squad became exposed during the long, hard First Division season. Well, that game came just after Henning Berg put pen to paper on the new Rovers deal. No coincidence, Stuart Metcalf, that Berg's arrival coincided with Rovers' run of form.
Yes, as soon as Henning Berg's come back, the defence has looked a lot more solid since Henning Berg's made his return. This who settles down today in this kind of derby game today. In point, Rovers settled down early on and get the passing game going.
Well, it's noticeable that first clearance from Burnley was just straight up the field, and it looks to me like they'll play 3-5-2, but they'll leave the 2 front men up and everyone else will be back.
It's like most teams who come to Ewood Park, they'll get everybody back behind the ball. It's important that Burnley don't go a goal down in the first 10 minutes. And I think Stan Ternent will have said that to his men before he come out.
Rovers free kick on the left-hand side. Craig Short, one of the players who missed the game at Turf Moor through injury, will take it. Now Henning Berg with time to lay that ball forward. Looking towards Jansen, the edge of the Burnley penalty area. Gets the better of his man, goes chasing across there. Picked up now by Marcus Bent down by the corner flag. Now Duff trying to find an angle. Back into the centre and David Dunn. But in his own way, the key part to play in that Turf Moor game was involved in that incident with Kevin Ball, in which Ball was sent off.
Yeah, the referee will play a big part in the game today, Gary. He'll have to be really strong, the referee today.
One thing that strikes you about Burnley's side, they've done well to get promoted up from the second division to Stan Ternent. It's quite an old side, really.
Yeah, it's an old side, but he's got them well drilled. They're very well organised, which I played against Stan Ternent quite a few times in his Burnley days, and he's always an organised kind of fella.
Of course, we shouldn't forget that even if Rovers win today, the race for an automatic promotion place is still very tight. Bolton scraped a point at the Reebok to move 3 points clear with Rovers in second, whilst Birmingham, on level points with Rovers, kick off at 1 o'clock this afternoon against Wolves in the West Midlands derby. Both those sides have played 3 more games than Rovers. Rovers throw. John Curtis, one of those 3 centre-backs to take it. Flick on by Matt Jansen, who was injured in the process. Referee gives the Burnley free kick this time for a foul on Kevin Ball. Ball sending off in the first game at Turf Moor in December. That really meant there was no way back into it for Burnley. Paul Cook's free kick. Headed down by Marn. Helped on by Little, who's a key player in this Burnley side. And now can Rovers break? Dunn's ball over the top. Looking for the run down the right-hand side by Jansen. Got ahead of his man for a moment. Cuts back and he wants it on that left foot. Lined up the shot. Charged down by Paul Cook and cleared up towards halfway. But here come Burnley on their own break now. Down the right-hand side with Glenn Little. Support in the centre from Moore and from Taylor. Little still with it. Closed down, and Rovers will get a throw on the far side. Craig Short doing the defensive work. Well, with the weather today, Stuart, this almost feels a little bit like a May and August game, really.
Yeah, it's like a cup final, and like at Wembley. It's a tremendous atmosphere. And both sets of supporters, I just thought they'd behave themselves today.
4 minutes gone. Short with the early clearance, looking for Jansen, who's basically on his own up front at the moment. Lots for the run from Bent, held up though once more by Cook. Ball played over the top looking for Duff. Burnley not that well organised. Appeal for handball against Marcus Bent, which is given, and Burnley have a free kick. Most people expect Burnley to come here and defend, Stuart.
Well, I wouldn't have thought they'd do that because eventually Rovers will break them down with the quality they've got in the side, so I don't think Stan Ternent will do it. I mean, they've started with 3-5-2, same as Blackburn now.
Bent making a nuisance of himself against the Burnley skipper Steve Davis. Davis clears into midfield, Ball picks it up. Now once more this is Glenn Little. I think he's the key man for Burnley this afternoon. Down the right hand side, swings it across field. It's a decent ball. Header on looking for Taylor, edge the area. 2 Rovers players in there, played across first time. And did it get a touch off a Rovers player? It did. Referee Alan Butler gives the corner. saying, Stuart, I think that Glenn Little is the key man in this Burnley side.
Yes, he's a very tricky player and he gets good crosses. And this is where Burnley get a lot of goals this season from set pieces. People like Davies coming up, he's a tremendous header of the ball.
5 minutes gone, first Burnley corner, it's a deep one, headed back in by Taylor. Dunn should be able to clear, up to the edge of the area. Ball tries to bring it down. Henning Berg went in there to make the challenge, and the final touch came off the Burnley player behind for a Rovers goal kick. There's a great history to this contest as we have a look at the replay and the clearance to the edge of the area. Great history to this game. I'm sure a certain gentleman sat beside me will remember a match back, what was it, 1976?
Yeah, 1977 season, yeah. I think it was Boxing Day, and we got into a 3-goal lead just before half time, and we thought it was plain sailing then, but Burnley come back with 2 goals in the second half. We managed to hang on 3-2. We had a lad called Keith Fear making his debut that day, and he scored.
Burnley's throw on the far side, put in by Short. Burnley should keep it, but went out of play by Mitchell Thomas. Rovers throw. I should say it's largely down to who settles down first. We've already seen Stan Ternent down on the touchline just organising one or two things. Both teams playing like-for-like systems. You would expect that means that the team with the better players on the day should win.
Well, you would think so, but you can never tell in football.
Friedel makes a comfortable catch and releases, looking for Bent's pace. Keeper Makopoulos right to the edge of his area, thought about it and then went back. And that really forced the defender into making the challenge, but Marcus Benn already proving he's a handful up there.
Yeah, he's got the pace, I think, to get past the 2 centre-backs there.
First Rovers corner. McAteer down the right-hand side, takes it in short, looking for Marn, comes off, ball once more, and McAteer will pick it up. Of course, Jason McAteer scored the opening goal at Turf Moor in December. All the dithering in the Burnley defence on that day. McAteer stole in with a header. 2 passes going astray early on. That's another one from Paul Cook. Henning Berg. Into Curtis. Dunn wanted it played early. Hadn't been picked up at all. The ball's finally played through now. Dunn down the right-hand side. Jansen and Ben both wanted to the centre. Dunn's ball across.
Yes.
It's come off the crossbar from Jansen and back out again. David Dunn in acres of space and gets a second chance now down the right-hand side. McAteer ball into the edge of the penalty area. Ball to clear into Branch. Branch upfield and up for all the world like Rovers' opening goal. Dunn was calling for it for what seemed like an eternity before someone finally picked him up. Here come Rovers again. McAteer down the right-hand side. Jansen comes short. Bent wants it played into the area. Marn down the right. Tries to chip the ball back in. That's comfortable for Burnley to clear this time.
Yeah, what Kevin Ball was doing there, I don't know. I mean, David Dunn had acres of space a moment ago there, and really, Matt Jansen should have scored, in my opinion.
Well, Burnley, where they're getting joy, getting it down that right-hand side at the moment, where Damien Depp is being forced back. Glenn Little with a touch, gets it back again. Taylor and Moore wait on the edge of the Rovers penalty area. Rovers trying to push out, into Taylor it goes. Once more with Little, this time in a more central position. Nothing down the left, it's all down the Burnley right at the moment. Defensive work back there from Damien Duff into Berg. Rovers play their way out of trouble. But doubt they're going to keep this. Here's Steve Davis, the Burnley skipper, his second spell at Turf Moor. Laid into the centre and Cook. Cook's ball over the top. It's going to be a long, long chase down that far side. That's going to be a fruitless one as well. Rovers have the goal kick. The interesting thing about Burnley's side, Stuart, as we have another look at this replay.
We'll look at the replay again here. I mean, it was a great ball from David Dunn, and really, man, he come off the defender, so really Matt Jansen was unlucky there. He came off to be on the defender against the bar.
Stan Ternent trying to get some instructions across. I'm not surprised after the amount of space that David Dunn found there.
Well, it was Kevin Ball. I mean, for acres, he should have picked David Dunn up. What he was doing there, I don't know.
It's an interesting lineup Burnley have got since December. Ian Moore coming in, of course, from Stockport's been the big change, really.
Yeah, he's got a lot of pace here. We saw him play early on Stockport early in the season. He has a lot of pace.
Interesting thing, though, that Andy Payson is still the leading goal scorer and he can't get the start.
No, I would think he'll come on at some part of the game today.
Rovers free kick, 10 minutes gone. We're inside the Rovers half. Henning Berg will take it. Somebody's gather. Pretty good atmosphere around Ewood this afternoon, I'm sure. It will be deafening when the first goal goes in. Up goes Matt Jansen. He's up against Mitchell Thomas. That's the drift behind for a Burnley goal kick. Point I was making, Mitchell Thomas is 30-60, Davis is 32, Ian Cox is 30. There's a lot of experience, but Benton Jansen's pace in there.
I think that's what he went when they got promoted this season. He's gone for experience, Ternent, in the first season up, and he's bought wisely, really, and he's got a squad capable of staying in the first division.
Coppolis with the kick. Short comes to meet it, heads it straight back out of play in the Burnley half, the throw on the far side. Thomas with the throw. Back to McCoppus, who's replaced Paul Crichton as first choice keeper at Turf Moor during the season. Berger's up for it, short second time. Now here's Curtis looking to play it early again, and again it's David Dunn who's made a run down his right hand side. Skips easily inside his man. Dunn trying to line up a shot on the left foot, just screws it wide. Didn't get a touch on the way through, but again it was Paul Cook this time in front of him, and Cook just couldn't cope with him.
Yeah, I think he's causing Kevin Ball lots of problems, David Dunn. I think Souness today has said to him, to David Dunn, get forward as much as possible. So I don't think Kevin Ball has the legs to stay with him.
But the way that Rovers are set up today as well, with Marn and Flitcroft, they can both play holding roles in midfield. It really is incumbent upon David Dunn to get forward.
Yeah, that's what I think he was told him.
Branch, up in the air it goes. Berg solid with a header. Branch again plays it forward. Straight through to Brad Friedel. It's good to see Brad Friedel getting some plaudits in the last couple of games, Stuart, because he's been actually outstanding since he arrived.
Yes, he has. We all thought, I mean, when Graeme Souness bought him, we all thought it was unfair on people like John Farn, but to be fair to Brad Friedel, he's been tremendous since he came into side.
Dunn picks it up in midfield, looking for the first time ball over the top. Damien Duff back there, comes off the Burnley defender. And that will be a second Rovers corner. This time it's down the left-hand side. So it's going to be left for Aaron Marn to take. 13 minutes gone at Ewood. Rovers take the short corner. Burnley was sleeping there. Duff plays it in deep, looking towards Jansen. Flicks off his head. I think Henning Berg might have actually been in his line of sight as he tried to head it in, but again Burnley sleeping.
They look very nervous at the back of Burnley.
Here's Dunn, down the right-hand side, tricking his way again. Gets a cross in to deep one, and it's put behind by Paul Cook. And Burnley really been tested here.
Yeah, I mean, the last two corners they've had, they've tried short corners always, and Burnley players haven't been picking them up, but I see the two going over now.
So Rovers' third corner, 13 minutes gone. Marn looks towards the centre. McCopplis punches clear. Falls for Dunn with a shot, flicked in! And Rovers take the lead after 13 minutes. David Dunn with the shot. I think Craig Short might have got a touch on the way through. It doesn't really matter. Rovers are one up.
Yeah, you can see it coming from these corners. I mean, Burnley defended very well. The goalkeeper there, very poor punch out, and David Dunn kept the strike low, and Craig Short just got a flick on it. But Burnley looked very, very bad at the back. Three centre-halves looked very nervous.
Well, Burnley had an escape early on here at Ewood Park, where Matt Jansen could have put Rovers one up. But the Rovers pressure was told, and Rovers take a lead after 13 minutes. But Craig Short couldn't believe his luck up there, Stuart.
No,
I think the shot was goal bound anyway.
I think it was goal bound, yeah, but like I say, he just flicked it in, and very bad defended from Burnley. I don't think the manager will be very happy with that.
Suddenly the Darwin end of the ground is very, very quiet. Rovers 1, Burnley 0. Craig Short, the goal scorer. Here's Ian Cox. Plays it back into the centre, looking towards Thomas. Down the right-hand side with Gwen Little. Nice ball into the area. Now can he cut it back across? Gets a second chance, and it came off the Burnley player for a goal kick. Well, I think he was a little bit unlucky there. It looked like he'd ridden the challenge from Craig Short. Bit unfortunate.
It's like you say, he's making some intelligent runs at Glenlick. He's causing Rovers one or two problems down that right-hand side. But he's the only player, when you look at the side at the moment, which causing Rovers any concern.
I suppose if you look at the way Rovers are set up here, they don't have a natural left-sided defender as such. Craig Short's more a centre-back, Damien Duff's more a winger.
Yeah.
Well, this will be such a sweet double if Rovers can achieve it. A long way to go. Yeah, we've been playing for 15 minutes at Ewood Park, and it's 12-0 kickoff. Rovers lead by a goal to nil. Again, Little down that right-hand side is the key man. Early ball looking towards Taylor. Taylor might just get the header there first, but it's Friedel can watch it drift by at his near post. But again, it's Glenn Little down the right-hand side as Taylor stays down, having taken it off. It is all through Glenn Little that Burnley are progressing here. Referee will stop play for a moment, and on will come the Burnley physio.
I think he's got a cut on his face, I think.
Well, we picked out Glenn Little as the man to watch, and he's the only player really causing any trouble at the
Yeah,
moment.
he's the only one who's got something in his locker. He's capable of beating the full-back and getting good crosses in.
So we're going to look at the goal again as we have a look at our replay monitor here, Stuart. Craig Short getting the final touch. I think David Dunn would have claimed it anyway.
Yeah, it was a poor punch from the goalkeeper, but again, bad marking. David Dunn was only on the edge of the box.
Well, maybe having a second look, maybe it wasn't quite sneaking in. I think
No.
Short's deflection took it in.
Yeah, I think the deflection did take it in.
Play resumes with a Rovers goal kick. A win today would take Rovers level on points with Bolton, and even though all eyes are on this fierceness of local derbies, really the big picture, Stuart, is promotion points.
That's right, yeah, it's imperative that Rovers get the 3 points today, because Bolton are slipping up at home now. In the last 3 home games, I think they've drawn now, Bolton.
Steve Davis with the ball forward. Ball in midfield. Now, maybe a chance for Burnley to break. Berg just stood up and won that very easily in the end. Duff, very deep, looking down the line towards Jansen. Header out by Thomas, who I think was being fouled. That's a free kick for Rovers. Burnley, unless they can get back into this quickly, have a problem here, because you could have seen a situation where Burnley took the lead maybe and then tried to hold on to it, but Rovers scoring first is going to really force them out.
Well, that's it, they've got to come out a lot more. But to be fair to Burnley, they haven't been defensively minded. They tried to attack, but they just haven't got the players capable of breaking Rovers down.
Burnley free kick practically on the halfway line. So you can hear the Blackburn end cheering Rovers on. Away by Marn. It was shoved into the back of Marcus Ben, but Rovers have it flicked off the furthest player forward. Don't think Jason McAteer will quite get there. And in the end it was good covering work back by Graham Branch, the left wing back, and he got a little bit fortunate with the ricochet from McAteer going straight behind. But for once there was a Burnley player alert there. That was Branch who got back as McAteer broke.
Yeah, good defending from Branch. He was aware of McAteer coming up on his side, and it was that was good defending.
Rovers 1, Burnley 0. Reminder that Birmingham and Wolves kick off at 1 o'clock today as well. It's another crucial game at the top of the First Division. Cox with the header. Chessie down in midfield. It's the midfield where Burnley is struggling at the moment. Touched by Moore, who's hardly been in the game so far. Wide it goes to Thomas down the right-hand side. Just about keeps it in play. Looking down the line. And out for a throw. Well, we talked about Ian Moore. Of course, the other forward, Gareth Taylor, is on loan from Manchester City.
Yeah, and he's a very experienced player. Again, Ternent's gone for an experienced man to try and get Burnley some goals.
Well, Burnley winning a few free kicks here. Rovers push everyone by Marcus bent back, and once again it's Little looking for pace down that far side. Duff is back there, and alongside Matt Jansen, between them they clear. Rovers win a throw. 19 minutes gone. Rovers obviously very aware of Glenn Little there. We saw double marking on him when that free kick was taken. You hear the Blackburn end fans singing elsewhere, Annie, but it's fairly quiet. Just a little bit of a lull in the game after Rovers have taken that early lead through Craig Short. But here comes Jansen winning it in the air again, but Thomas gets his body in the way, and Davis comes to sweep up. But once again, it's a good combination. Jansen and Bent up front. Stuart, Jansen good in the air, Bent with his pace.
Yeah, both of them have got pace, and it frightened the death out of Burnley at the back. They're very aware of the balls coming over the top. There's Matt Jansen's got tremendous pace, as has Bent as well.
Burnley being pushed back. Out comes Makopoulos to the edge of his area. And in all honesty, to say that the keeper was largely at fault for the goal in that game.
Yeah, it was a bad punch out from the keeper. I think he'll be disappointed himself.
Once again, we talked about David Dunn earlier on, Stuart. He was left with a lot of space on the edge of the area to get the ball back in.
Yeah, so it's very bad defending from Burnley.
Mon tries to get through now with Bent, needs to bring it under control. McAteer wants it played wide to the right. The ball's slightly behind Jason McAteer, holds him up for the moment. Dunn, down the line to Bent again, brings the defender across with him. He's got 3 Claret shirts around him. And it's Ian Cox who will clear up the line. And Curtis lets that run out of play for a Rovers throw. Played 21 minutes in the first half here at Ewood. Rovers lead by a goal to 0. Here's David Dunn again, having another run again. Gets past his man easily, flicks the ball in, but Bent was back on his heels. But again, that contest between Dunn and it looks like Paul Cook's the one picking him up, Stuart. It's been very unequal so far.
Yeah, I'm just looking at Matt Jansen. Looks like he's took a little bit of a knock. He's hobbling over to the sideline. Hopefully that's not too bad.
As we saw the replay, Matt Jansen's coming across midway inside the Burnley half. Dave Fever's already on the touchline. Rovers play on. Curtis looking for Bent. Bent on his own at the moment. Cox comes back. Totally missed kick, said. Puts it out, second time of asking for a Rovers throw down by the corner flag. As Matt Jansen is off the field of play, that means Rovers will continue with 10 for the moment.
I think he's taken a knock to his knee, I think.
Attention to Matt Jansen's right knee from Dave Fever. Burnley put in and cleared away up towards halfway. Berg with the header. Rovers down to 10 for the moment. Here's Flitcroft. McAteer comes back in field. Now he is Short. Rovers just want to keep it for the moment while Matt Jansen's off the field. Short looks at, and that's a rather wasted ball over the top. Holds his hand up in apology. We're halfway through the first half, Stuart, and so far so good, really.
Yeah, Rovers are in control of the game. I mean, you can't see Burnley, unless Rovers gift them a goal, you can't see Burnley really scoring.
Well, Burnley giving it away again. Here's Flitcroft looking to McAteer, who's taking up a more central position for the moment. Forward it goes into the bend. That one's overhit. And Nicopolis will keep it in play as Matt Jansen is waved back on. Having received treatment to his right knee, Rovers back up to the full complement of 11. Short backpedaling, doesn't get to the header. Taylor got there first but can't find his strike partner Moore, and that's through to Friedel. It's a hectic April ahead for Rovers. Sheffield United on Wednesday. Queen's Park Rangers away. That header just finding its target from Nicopolis. Queen's Park Rangers away next Saturday. And then another big game, Fulham here at Ewood a week on Wednesday. Fulham have only lost 2 games away from Craven Cottage all season. Rovers have only lost 2 games at home. 23 minutes gone. Rovers lead by Craig Short's goal to 0. Curtis defending. Branch playing the ball over the top. Looking for Moore to chase. And Moore managed to win a corner there when really he shouldn't have been off Damien Duff. So you think if Burnley are going to profit, Stuart, these sort of positions are where they're going to need to.
That's the only way I can see him scoring is from a set piece or a corner. So obviously Davis is a threat in the air.
24 minutes gone. Burnley's second corner. Played in centrally. Taylor tried to get a touch, falls on the edge of the area for the shot. And in the end it was well wide. As Brad Friedel could watch that one drift harmlessly behind. Matt Jansen still getting a few instructions as well while I'm speaking there, Stuart.
Yeah, I think they're a little bit concerned about him now.
Paul Weller, the player who had the shot, they said to Matt, try and run it off for the next few minutes. On the bench for Rovers, Mark Hughes will be the obvious replacement if needed. Neil Berkovic's on there too. Dunn clears. Bent tries to flick it on for himself. Burnley have cover through Thomas. That goes back to Nicopolis. Gorgeous spring day here at Ewood Park, and made even better by Rovers taking an early lead. Flitcroft comes back to help his defence, leaves it to Craig Short. And they just don't feel like a bit of a scrappy period at the moment. Rovers challenge comes in, Burnley with a throw. That early pace has just died for the moment, Stuart.
Yeah, well, it will do in games like this. I mean, it's a bit quite warm out there, and one or two of them will be feeling the pace of the game.
Berg got there ahead of Moore, but Rovers haven't really cleared it. Back in it goes from Cook. Friedel comes and claims on the edge of his 6-yard box.
See, where Burnley's playing at the moment, they're just lacking somebody in the middle of midfield who can just thread the ball through. They're just hopeful balls what they're putting over the top.
Curtis comes over halfway into Bent. Jansen down the centre, McAtee down the right. Marcus Bent's control lets him down this time. Gets it back off Graham Branch, who was rather dawdling. Burnley have it though. Here's Ball on his own down this near side, and again he's run into trouble. Cross comes Cox, clears upfield. Curtis got a second chance to clear. McAtee goes in. Again, Burnley just don't seem to be at the pace of this game. Jansen, was he onside? He was played on by Thomas on the far side. Jansen down the right hand side, cuts back inside the area, needs to line it up, and hits the first man, who's Steve Davis. When a ball into the centre, probably would have resulted in Rovers getting another shot on goal.
He seems to be wide open the right hand side down here, Burnley. I don't know who's supposed to be playing there, I don't know.
It's Graham Branch who started off down that Burnley left.
There's acres of space though on this right hand side.
Rovers corner number 4. We've been playing for 26 minutes here at Ewood Park. Taken by Marn, headed away from the near post. Looked like a foul by Jason McAtee on Paul Weller. It's Ian Moore who was coming back, but it's a Burnley free kick. So that was a more promising sign from Matt Jansen, who took that knock a few minutes ago. He was still able to sprint down the Rovers' right wing. The lineup, it is actually Graham Branch who's down this left-hand side, Stuart, isn't it?
I think he'll be getting the bashing at half-time, because I wouldn't be happy if I was the manager. The Rovers are getting on this right-hand side. It's just a matter of time before they open up again.
I think the Rovers bench is still not 100% sure about Matt Jansen.
No.
Still having a few words.
Well, the game's coming up. If you've got a little bit of a knock, it's not worth risking it really, with all the important games coming up.
27 minutes on the watch. Rovers lead by 1-0. Hennyberg with the free kick. Up goes Jansen, doesn't get it in the air this time. Ball heads it clear. Falls for Flitcroft, tried to help it on. Jansen beaten to it by Cox. Now Morn in the centre. Duff comes short. Duff being fouled there by Little. Play goes on though. Dunn, Flitcroft. Short down the left-hand side. The Rovers goal scorer. Bent waiting on the edge of the area. McAtee making his way into the centre as well. Rovers have it down the left. 2 Burnley players back there, and the linesman's flag goes. Good advantage played by the referee. Ball played through, and somehow it's ended in the back of the net. Clarets is Burnley defending once more. And would you believe it? It's Craig Short again. Rovers 2, Burnley 0.
Yeah, I think he's took a deflection off on the Burnley player though. It's Craig Short's got to the byline. He's pulled it back, but I think it's come off a Burnley player. But again, awful marking again from Burnley.
Well, watch the keeper as Short plays the ball across.
Now, yeah.
Goes in at the near post.
Davis, yeah. It's come off Davis, inside of Davis's legs, and it's trickled over the line. But I mean, the referee waved play on, and Burnley players stopped, which you can't do in this time.
We're going to see a substitution here. Matt Jansen is going to go off as we watch the replay.
Oh, it's like Damien Duff's going on.
Well, 11 was held up.
Damien Duff's going on.
It is indeed Damien Duff.
He must have an injury, he must stay on.
Well, he's shaking his head, and I wonder if that's tactical, because, well, we'll find out later one way or the other. Stig Bjornaby comes on, and maybe Graeme Souness thinks, look, we're 2-0 up here, it's going so well, let's put an extra defender on and let's see what happens.
I think he must have an injury, I don't think he'd take him off.
So Rovers have gone to a flat back 4, having dominated the opening 29 minutes.
I mean, you can see Rovers getting 4 or 5 with this defence that Burnley's got at the moment. They're going to have some serious talking at half time.
Well, this game could easily heat up a little bit, because I'm sure, as you say, Stan Ternent at half-time.
Oh, they'll get a real ear bashing at half time, because both the goals really, I mean, have been down to Burnley's bad play, really.
You have to take advantage of your opportunities, but you could say Rovers have been gifted both goals here at Ewood Park.
I mean, I'm not saying as far as amateur, but I mean, you don't see that goals like that in amateur football.
It was 2-0 at Turf Moor earlier in the season. It's 2-0 here at Ewood again. There's a long time to go in this game. We played 30 minutes in the first half. And Burnley's defence has creaked on a few occasions. I know Makopoulos is Victor's first choice keeper these days at Turf Moor, but I think it's his influence really that's caused some of the problems there. Headed down by McAtee. Well, Craig Short, I've got a picture of him there. Well, I bet he never thought when the day started that he'd be scoring 2 goals in this game.
Yeah.
Particularly the way they've come. Maybe he fancied himself for a header in the box, Stuart, but not splinting down the wing.
Not the way he went down the wing there for that goal, yeah.
Just inside the final 15 minutes of the first half. Rovers 2 up. Here's Little. 2 Rovers players around him. He's won the free kick. And Rovers, I think, are as well as we have been. Glenn Little looks the only outlet.
Yeah, he's the only one who's got something in his game who can get crosses over. I mean, centre midfield, that's where Burnley is struggling.
Free kick taken quickly. Burnley player goes down in the area, falls deep for Weller, tries to chip it back in. They must be offside, surely. The flag goes up. A couple of Burnley players left in there. Well, I'm sure Stan Ternent will feel that his side needs a goal back before half-time to stand a chance in this.
Oh, yeah, and if Rovers get the third goal, you can see him going on and getting maybe 5.
Free kick for Rovers. Friedel to take it. Goes Thomas, wins the header for Burnley. Smalling back there. Puts it straight out of play. Whenever Rovers have stepped the tempo up in this first half, Stuart, Burnley just haven't coped with it at all.
No, they haven't. No, like I said, they never got to grips with Bent and Jansen's pace.
Well, I was saying that when Stigbjorneby came in, they'd go to a flat back 4, but I think actually Stigbjorneby is going to play that wing-back role he played at Liverpool down the left. And Rovers will stick with the same formation, which is 3-5-2. So Bjorneby, a direct replacement for Damien Duff. Alan Marn staying inside. Damien Duff with a bit of a leg strain.
Yeah, I thought he must have some kind of injury because, like I say, it's not worth taking a risk with all the games coming up now. With the squad Rovers have got.
Ian Cox comes forward for Burnley. Better run this time. Berg closed him down. Falls again for a Clarets shirt in midfield through Little. Tries a shot. Took a deflection on the way through and Friedel went down well. But once more, it's Glenn Little proving the only threat from Burnley. Got his shot in. Could easily have taken the deflection and beaten Friedel.
Yeah, it was a dangerous shot there. I mean, Brad Friedel kept his eye on it all the way, but like you say, he could take a deflection. I think that's Burnley's first shot, I think.
Bent, Jansen. Pulled the ball across, and there's a man over at the far side. Bent took it off. Marn could have let it run, really. He is done. McAtee is wide down the right. Back into the centre of Flitcroft. Bjorneby down the left. He is done down the right again. Rovers keeping it for the moment. Marn makes a run again. He was very slow to be picked up down the right-hand side. Just slipped for the moment. On his left foot, allowed the cross to go in. Comes off a Burnley head. Over to that far side. I've seen that a few times. That ball just behind for a goal kick. In fact, it's going to be a corner. It came off the Burnley defender. It's not a few times. Matt Jansen shot onto his left foot. Alan Marn shot onto his left foot.
Yeah,
not good defending.
No, terrible defending.
12 minutes to go, first half. Rovers lead at Ewood by 2-0. Here comes the corner into the near post. Keeper can't get to it. Falls for Dunn again as he finds into the shot. Tries to chip it back in. McCopolis comes across and keeps it in play.
That was a very similar situation to Rovers' first goal again there. Nobody picking David Dunn up again on the edge of the box.
Burnley struggling to get out of their own half of them. McAtee is stronger in the challenge. Here come Rovers forward. Jansen down the right-hand side. Bent waiting in the centre. McAtee making his way in. Again, it's onto his left foot. Ball played in. Headed out this time by Davis. But I'm amazed that they keep showing Matt Jansen onto his left foot.
Well, this Graham Branch, he's having a nightmare at the moment. He's getting caught in possession. He's not picking the people up.
Done. Jansen, Edgeley, Burnley penalty area. Back to Flitcroft. Rovers stroking it about. McAtee once more. Allowed to come inside. Jansen wants it played through. McAtee feign to shoot. Then Marn from distance. That's a weak effort in the end. Good 89 yards wide. Rovers at the moment are toying with Burnley here. Got 11 minutes to go in the first half. And as at Turf Moor, it's Rovers' superiority in midfield that's made all the difference.
Yeah, they're just bossing the midfield. I mean, Burnley's really got nothing to offer at all in the middle of midfield.
11 minutes left in the first half. Up goes Short to win the header. Comes off a Burnley hand. Play goes on. Up towards Bent. Beats Thomas in the air. Davis is the sweeper. And he will bring it to the far side and clear down the line. Looking towards Moore. Headed out by Berg. And that's a throw on the far side. Well, something major's going to have to change if Burnley are going to get back into this game.
No, you can't see how they can possibly do that unless they make 1 or 2 substitutions at half time, which I think they will do.
Burnley throw, push back towards the halfway line. For anyone who has joined us late, it's not an April Fool. Craig Short's got both goals. now, helped on. Flag goes up against Ian Moore. What I noticed though when Burnley are attacking, it is a little bit slow paced, isn't it?
Yes,
Rovers have chance to adjust in defence.
Just haven't got the quality to break Rovers down.
Well, usually it is at the end of the game, but I suppose you could almost pick a man of the first half, and I suppose Craig Short's in with a shout for the game anyway, isn't
No,
he?
he's got to be anyway, the 2 goals.
23,442 inside Ewood Park this afternoon. Watching Rovers here in command and leading by 2-0. But we'll probably have a look at it half-time, Stuart. It's that second goal because,
Yeah,
as you mentioned, Steve Davis got the touch. I'm
Yeah.
sure he won't want it. Now here comes Moore inside the area, tight angle. Berg did well, threw himself at the ball and cleared outside the area. Falls to Little down the right-hand side, tries to find his way through, settles for the throw. What I was saying is that I'm sure Steve Davis won't want to
Yeah.
claim it.
But when you look at the replay, it did come off Steve Davis's legs. It was going straight to a Burnley player otherwise, but he was unfortunate he couldn't get out of the way of it.
Ball played in, chance for a header, great save by Friedel,
Yeah.
chance in there again. And the referee
Offside.
has said that the flag's gone up for offside. The first header came from Steve Davis. If that had gone in, I think Burnley's goal would have stood. But when the ball was played back in a second time, Stuart Metcalf, the flag went up straight away.
Yeah, I think the referee got it right. Tremendous save again from Brad Friedel here, but as the ball comes out, you can see the Burnley players is a mile offside. Tremendous save though from the header from Brad Friedel.
Ian Moore, it was who put it in the back of the net. Well, it's by far the closest Burnley have come to scoring here at Ewood. And once more, Brad Friedel outstanding.
Yeah, tremendous save there. He got down there to his far post and put his hand to it.
8 minutes left in the first half. Rovers still lead by 2-0. Bjornaby heads it on, looking for Jansen to chase. Gets there ahead of Mitchell Thomas. Thomas will clear it, at least partially. Bjornaby, chance to get the ball in first time. Only McAteer inside the box. Falls to a Burnley shirt though this time. And Burnley just raising the game a little bit here. Here's Glenn Little. Bit isolated, gets it back into the centre. Can't find one of the front men. And Curtis with time to clear up field again. Bent and Thomas together. Bent wins it, tries to find McAteer. Ball though falls straight to Graham Branch. Seems to have tucked in a little bit more on that Burnley left-hand side at the moment.
I think he's been told to. I've just seen Stan Ternent shouting like mad at him.
Curtis clears once more.
I mean, they can't afford to go another goal down just before half-time.
In the end, that was a big let-off for Rovers because the original header, I think, from Davis wasn't really picked up, was he? And
No, that's his strong point, Davis. He's very good in the air.
Steve Davis, I think, with 5 goals so far this season for Burnley. Can bet a few of those have come from corners as well. Mentioned earlier, Andy Payton, the leading Burnley goal scorer, is on the bench. Better spell this for Burnley. 7 minutes to half-time. Little again down the right-hand side. Moore and Taylor in the centre. Tried to keep the ball in play. Did he keep it in? He did. And Rovers will clear it. Moore upfield, but it's like Burnley finally starting to raise themselves now.
Well, they have to do something. I mean, even like they said, they've got the supporters here. They've got to play with a bit more pride than what they have done so far.
Here's Steve Davis looking long, looking towards Taylor. He's up against Curtis. A win it in the air, but can't find another claret shirt, and that might be profitable. Taylor up against Curtis. Taylor certainly has the height advantage now. Six minutes left of the first half, and you have to say it couldn't really have gone any better for Rovers.
No, they've been in complete control from the moment they started the game, Rovers. Just they've lost the midfield and they Burnley haven't been able to break them down at all.
23,442, one of Ewood's biggest tendencies of the season. Now here's Marcus Bent, the flag goes up for offside. I think we all held our breath there because Bent was in with a one-on-one on Makopoulos.
Yeah, it's very tight, that is, you know, just touch and go, really.
We have a chance to look at the replay in the box here, and Bent, you can see, has just made his run just a little early. Short's header out, finds Bowl. Really, you would think Burnley would need the experience of players like Kevin Bowl to get them back in the game. Moore goes down, wins the free kick. I said earlier, Burnley tend to profit from set pieces, from free kicks and corners. It's usually Paul Cook who takes these. Thomas is standing over it at the moment.
See, Davis has gone up again. He goes up for every free kick in the corner.
It will be Cook left-footed. Davis being marked by Burke. In towards Davis it goes. Looking for the header, got there first.
Oh.
And it's inches wide from Steve Davis. Friedel was really struggling that time to get across. And again, just a little reminder for Rovers.
Yeah, look at the replay again. He's a tremendous talent in the air. I mean, I think he'd have beaten Brad Friedel that there. Yeah, tremendous header. That's the only threat that Burnley have got.
Inside the final 5 minutes of the first half, Rovers have dominated, but Burnley just easing their way back into it in the last few minutes.
Well, the points of the game, I mean, in football, Burnley will come into the game at some point, but I think Rovers have just stepped up another gear. I think they can score at will, really.
Jason McAteer penalised by referee. Burnley trying to take the free kick quickly. Needless to say, we won't have a microphone in the Burnley dressing room at half-time, Stuart.
No, I want that to be going in with the Tempest and Ternent.
4 minutes to go, first half. Rovers 2 up here at Ewood. Here's Cox. Bent got in first and wins Rovers the throw.
He's down on the line again now, Stanton, shouting instructions out. He won't be very happy.
Cox was dawdling again there,
That's
didn't really
right.
go back.
Yeah.
Burnley manager wants the throw in to his team. I'm sure he's well aware it's not. Curtis back to Berg. He's going to have to stir his team up somehow, though.
Well, I think the only thing he can possibly do is maybe make a couple of changes at half time.
Well, I'm amazed because anyone who got down to Ewood early this morning, the Burnley team were here well in advance. They were here about 9:30, I think. Rovers with the throw. Done in midfield again. Needed to release it early. Challenge came in at the last minute. Burnley have a throw. But you do sense Rovers just need one more break, Stuart, and the game's over.
Yeah, you can see him just breaking it well. I mean, the back three of Burnley have really struggled today with the pace of Jansen and Bent.
Chip forward. Fleet header on by Taylor. No one had made the run for Burnley. It's back with Friedel. Well, they've had 2 chances. They had the great save by Friedel and then the offside decision from that, and then Davis with the header.
But like they said, Burnley, the 2 front men of Burnley not getting any support from midfield. The midfield men aren't getting up close enough to the strikers. Like Blackburn now, David Dunn's getting very close to Matt Jansen.
Dunn heads it back into Rovers territory, and Curtis, tight angle, clears up the line looking towards Ben. Headed out this time by Cox. Flitcroft, fouled by Ball. That's the free kick. Got a couple of minutes left of the first half. Rovers lead by 2-0. See Andy Payson warming up down below us. It wouldn't surprise me to see him on in the second half for Burnley. So Curtis will go forward for this free kick to the edge of the Burnley area. Dunn to take it. Rather scraped it. Burnley struggling to clear. Branch does get it clear. And then a missed kick. Rovers should have it back. Dunn picks it up. Does he fancy a shot? Bent wants it played in. Nice bit of trickery by David Dunn. Tried to spread it wide, but Flitcroft is coming back rather than going forward. David Dunn is absolutely furious.
Yeah, I thought he was going to let the peg go there. Then he was lining up for a shot, but he decided to play Gary Flitcroft in. But as you said, Gary Flitcroft is coming back.
Just a minute left in the first half. Nice bit of trickery again. Easily past his man.
Yeah, that's what he likes to see David Dunn doing, attacking people. That's his best part of his game.
The point we're making, sometimes in a 3-5-2, David Dunn can't do that, but you've got 2 potential sitting players in Flitcroft and Marn, so he has that licence.
Yeah. And like I've said, the Burnley midfield players can't cope with his pace. I mean, Kevin Ball struggled to get to terms with David Dunn all afternoon.
Up goes Davis again for this Burnley free kick. Paul Cook to take it. Wants Davis to cut back in. Goes into the centre this time, looking for the header down. And Short will clear, but it wasn't a bad idea. Davis is making his way in from the far side. Hooked clear by Burnley again. Rovers were defending to do. Curtis follows it back into the Burnley half, where Mitchell Thomas, struggling to find the Claret shirt, brought down finally by Bull, then Little. And can Rovers find their way through? Here's Marn down the left-hand side. 2 players around him, sandwiched between the 2. Referee won't give the free kick. Little brings it clear for Burnley. Well, I expected more challenges like that really in the game. Here comes the official to tell us that there's 2 minutes to add. Now Burnley with a bit of space for Branch down the left-hand side. could have taken it earlier. Got two players in front of him now, and totally wasted by Graham Branch. McAteer, the player to rob him.
I'll be very surprised if he stays on at half time, because to me he's had a complete nightmare.
Little at the back, Burnley trying their best to give it away again. Ben runs into Davis. Can they stay onside? They can. No, they can't. It's been given offside. Well, if it had been played a fraction earlier, both Bent and Jansen would have been through. Again, Burnley so close to going 3 down.
Yeah, they're trying to push up Davis and Cox, and they're getting caught every time.
Oh, the ball was played through. We're getting a chance to look at the replay. Well, does that look offside to you, Stuart? It doesn't look offside to me.
It's hard to say from here. Like, Matt Jansen does look like he's just a little bit offside to me.
Okay, Burnley can't profit. It's going to be a Rovers throw. He played a minute of time added on at the end of the first half. It's the first half that Craig Short will remember for a long time. Headed by Thomas. Played by Dunn. Davis, the furthest player back. 2 Rovers players come to close him down, and he rather scuffs the clearance. Out of play for a Rovers throw. So inside the final 30 seconds of the first half. Rovers 2, Burnley 0. McAteer with the throw. Okay, so Rovers keeping hold of it now and ticking down the time up to half time. Bent being held there. And the decision's gone the other way. Referee, who had a good view, says Marcus Bent was backing into the defender. I still think it's one of those that could go either way, those sort of decisions.
Yeah, it's like 50-50 there, isn't it?
Well, we played our time added on at the end of the first half, and I wouldn't need to tell you when the half-time whistle blows, because you'll hear a deafening roar around Ewood Park. Berg wins the header. Forward by McAteer. Bent goes chasing, and that is half-time at Ewood Park, and there's a standing ovation on 3 sides of the ground. What a half for Craig Short, putting Rovers 1 up, a deflection off the Burnley skipper Steve Davis, making it 2-0. It's heaven for Rovers fans at half-time. Rovers 2, Burnley 0. So Burnley make a substitution at half-time. I don't think it's too big a surprise, Stuart Metcalf, that Graham Branch, the player who's gone off. Paul Smith coming on.
Yeah, he had to. He's looked at whether we're carrying a knock or whatever, I don't know, but he wasn't in the pace of the game at all first half.
So Rovers will kick off the second period, attacking the Rovers fans in the Blackburn end. No Rovers changes at half-time. Steve Bjornaby came on during the first half for Damien Duff. And Mr. Butler, when he finally gets the signal, will get us underway for the second period. So away we go with Rovers well in command, leading by 2-0. Craig Short with the first. He might claim the second one, although it seemed to come off the Burnley skipper Steve Davis on its way in. So Craig Short could be on the most unlikely of hat-tricks. The only thing that's a slight worry, I'll break off because Bent's been put through by Jansen. The ball just holds him up for the moment. Bjornaby goes wide. Can Rovers get a third early on? Well, they've got a corner straight away. Rovers really didn't have to play that well, Stuart, to get 2 up. So, you know, they've had it quite easy, really.
Well, they have more like a practice match for Rovers first 45 minutes. I mean, Burnley just going at the pace of the game.
Right, Rovers 6 corner down the left-hand side. Bjornaby takes it, looking deep towards Short. And straight into the arms of Makopoulos. Didn't mainly get too much power behind the header, but I'm sure Craig Short will be looking for every goal-scoring opportunity going. Burnley with a rare break down the left-hand side. That's nice work by Little, who's switched wings at the moment. Into Smith, the substitute. Almost got away through. Appeals for handball, and that's given. So it looks like Little has gone down that left-hand side to have a run at McAteer and Curtis. So they did come off the Burnley player's hand. So it looks to me like Paul Weller's slotting in down the right, Stuart, and then Little's gone down the left. Benz picks it up down the right-hand side. Can't keep hold of it, though. Now Burnley looking at the blade early. Cross comes Craig Short, who's been everywhere this afternoon. Out of play for a Burnley throw. So it's Weller down the right, Little down the left, and Smith hoping to support the front 2 down the centre. It's a gorgeous warm day here at Ewood as well. And Rovers lead by 2-0. Little flicks it on. Now here comes Paul Weller. Looks into the centre. That should be comfortable for Friedel. And is on the edge of his 6-yard box. The Rovers keeper will just hold it for the moment. Gets any warmer, John. I'm going to have to take my coat off here. It's a lovely day, isn't it?
Beautiful.
You know what they say, the sun shines on the righteous. Friedel's kick upfield. Cox with Bent. So Marcus Bent will to add to his derby goal in the first game. Gets away for a second. Back comes Cox. Bent still going. Jansen wants it pulled back across. The ball in hit Steve Davis. And he's cleared. It was heading towards Matt Jansen, who was free on the edge of the 6-yard box. Rovers again, though. Down the right. David Dunn. Rides his look into Bent, onside, gets clear, pulls it back again, chance now for Moon! Scrapes it wide, it drifted, it arced away from Nick Makopoulos' goal. And Alan Moore is disappointed because he was unmarked on the edge of the penalty area. The ball came to him right on the line and it was never on target.
Yeah, he just led back as the ball come to him. But again, they've got through on that Burnley's right-hand side again.
But again, the Rovers player on the edge of the box wasn't picked up.
Not picked up at all.
Jansen. Run being made by McAtee, asking a bit too much of him though. Davis can only go back to Makopoulos. Brilliant sunshine here at Ewood Park. Rovers 2, Burnley 0. Craig Short with a hand certainly in both goals. Scored the first and will probably claim the second. Berg's header clear to McAtee. Looking for the ball early over the top. Bent was just about onside. Jansen. Burnley's defence wasn't too sure there. Jansen will get there first, and surely Steve Davis brought him down on the edge of the box. Don't think it was a penalty. I think it should have been a free kick, though.
It was definitely a free kick on the edge of the box there. He did definitely caught his trailing foot there, Steve Davis.
Oh, the linesman had a perfect view, didn't give it.
I think they felt sorry for Burnley there, I think.
Burnley with possession, back in their own half. Don't seem to be going anywhere at the moment. The ball's finally laid forward, straight to Craig Short. Now into Jansen, tried to flick it on, he's appealing for handball, it's not been given. I don't think Mitchell Thomas knew too much about that really, but Rovers have it straight back. Bjornaby, you just feel that Rovers have a chance to kill them off at will here. Here's Bent, looking to bring it down on the far side. The ball was just a little bit overhead, but it just takes one more strike through on that calf and the game's over.
Well, if Blackburn get the third goal, you can see him going on and scoring maybe 4 or 5. They're getting through Burnley far too easy.
5 minutes gone in the second half. Steve Davis with the Burnley throw. Back up towards halfway. Picked up by Bjornaby. Just lays it rather lazily forward. Burnley clear. Back up towards halfway. The header on, but it all really breaks down for Burnley once it gets past.
Yeah, you don't see Burnley stringing any passes together. They have maybe 1 or 2 touches and they give it away. And you can't do that at this level.
Well, just for the moment, Rovers seem to have dropped down to the visitors' level. It's a bit scrappy as the start of this second half. Burnley warming up their subs. I'll be amazed if Andy Payton doesn't come on at some stage during this second half. They already used Paul Smith, Gordon Armstrong, Andy Payton and Brad Mailer to the outfield players left on the bench. Now with Brad Friedel, who's played his part. He wasn't to know that the offside flag was going to go up when he made the save. That full stretch to tip it round the post. But Friedel hasn't had a lot to do, but what he's had to do he's done well. Berg. Needless to say, if Burnley were to get a goal back, the game would change totally. Here's Curtis now, running into trouble on that far side, and dispossessed quite easily. Burnley with Little. Thought about playing it in early. And then sliding in goes Gary Flitcroft. Rovers trying to break through the centre. Jansen can't quite get there ahead of Ian Cox. Makopoulos very calmly flicks it up to Cox, who's still got a lot of work to do. It's closed down straight away. And Burnley have a throw, but it's deep inside their own territory. So the fans in the Walker Steel making sure that Burnley don't get the ball back early. It's a Burnley throw. Davis will take it. Flicked on down the line. Stan Ternent still on his touchline, screaming instructions to his keeper, who's not very happy at all at the moment. Berg. think Stan Ternent said cut out the clever stuff at the back.
Well, that's right. The goaler there should have really launched it before instead of trying a fancy damn trick.
Well, down goes the Rovers player. Is that Glenn Little? No, it's not. It's well, depends what the referee or the linesman's seen that. The linesman's flag stay down on the far side. He's calling across Paul Weller, and Weller was rather late there on Henningberg.
Yeah, it was a late. We see the replay. Well, we might not see the replay, but I mean, he definitely went over the top to Edinburgh.
Well, surprisingly for this type of game, we're 8 minutes into the second half, but that is the first booking. Referee.
As you see the replay now, Gary, look, he went straight over the top. Very late on him,
Dave Beaver still on the pitch with administering treatment to Henningberg. And Wolves are beating Birmingham 1-0 in the 1 o'clock kick-off, but can't really get any better, can they?
Everything seems to be going for Rovers at the moment.
Birmingham have really dipped in form, haven't they, since that cup final?
They've had a disastrous run, Birmingham, as have Bolton. Rovers have just dipped at the right time, you know. They've just the form's come on ever since the Burnley game away.
Henningberg hobbles away. Rovers back up to 11. Friedel takes the free kick. He's looking towards Matt Jansen. Jansen was in the air. Bent tries to get on the end of it. Davis is covering. Now Flitcroft takes a step down the Rovers' left-hand side. Plays it along the line. Finds Dunn. Dunn looking for the challenge to come in and settles for the throw. Now who does that come off? It comes off the Burnley defender. The linesman was close by, and Rovers have corner number 7. It's taken short and quickly. Into Dunn again. You could bet David Dunn would love a goal in this game. Burnley again. Look at 6s and 7s at the back. Thomas the one who cleared it, but only as far as Flitcroft. We played 9 minutes in the second half. Jansen picks it up into Bent. You can see David Dunn crying out for it every time it goes forward. Flitcroft played in, looking towards Dunn with a header. Couldn't quite get enough on it. Burnley have a chance to clear down the right hand side, but put under severe pressure again. Great challenge by Marn. Made sure they couldn't get out there. But David Dunn was screaming for the ball, Stuart. What he gives to score in this game.
That's right, yeah, the acres of space. It was a good ball off Gary Flitcroft as well, but it was just a bit too high for David Dunn.
Weller for Burnley. Into Moore, doesn't stick again though. Jansen beaten this time as Burnley have a chance to bring it out through Thomas, but he's given it away.
No, they give the ball away far too easy, Burnley. In silly positions as well.
Cox beaten by Ben. Ben goes on inside the area.
Right.
Ball across, Jansen! It's 3-0 for Rovers, and that came from more calamitous Burnley defending down this near side. Initially from Thomas, then from Cox. Ben went inside the area. Cox couldn't even get to him to bring him down. Jansen came in late. He's made it 3-0. The game's over.
Yeah, Cox terrible there. Tried to face the ball out of defence, lost it, give it away. Ball went great pass from Marcus Bent to Matt Jansen. He just tapped it in. The Rovers can score it at will. I've said that all along. Every time they go forward, they get through Burnley far too easy.
And you have to say that Burnley have largely been the architects of their own downfall in this game.
They just can't string 2 or 3 passes together, Burnley. They look very disorganised now.
Matt Jansen's 16th league goal of the season. Curtis goes back to defend as Burnley have a rare foray forward. Friedel will pick it out of play. So Matt Jansen up to 16 league goals this season. And we have a picture of the lad in the crowd with his shirt off. Meanwhile, Burnley trying to find some sort of respectability in this game. Littles move back down the right-hand side. And that's a terrible challenge on Gary Flitcroft. And that has got to be another booking. And just as Rovers were in command at Turf Moor, Stuart Metcalf, 1 or 2 Burnley players lost it in the second half.
This is where the referee's going to be very strict now, because the game could go out of control now, because obviously the Burnley supporters are again very angry at the players, because they've showed no fight at all this afternoon, albeit Rovers have totally dominated them.
Well, Gary Flitcroft did well there, didn't he? Didn't react at all.
No.
Second Burnley player to be booked is Glenn Little. And you can hear a deafening noise around 3 sides of you. The 4th side is amazingly quiet. And at this stage, with time left to play, we've only played 12 minutes in the second half. You just wonder what the final scoreline is going to be.
Yeah, I think Graeme Souness now, I think he'll make 1 or 2 substitutions now and give everybody a run out this afternoon.
Marcus Bent tried to flick that one through for McAteer. Bent stays down. Marn picks it up. Bent will need treatment here, I think. I'll tell you one player will want to come off, and that's David Dunn. I don't think he'll be getting him off in a hurry. Marcus Bent back on his feet. Stan Ternent parading the touchline down here. He's pointing at someone. I think he's pointing at Andy Payton, who looks like being the second Burnley substitute. Rovers on the attack there at the moment. Jansen tried to flick the ball back into the centre. It's a difficult one for Dunn to take, and David Dunn's furious about it. Bent. Left upfield. Berg went in with the header. Burnley breaking now. Again, it's taking too long to get the ball played, though. Ball is swung in. Oh, Berg totally missed it. The final man back is Bjornaby. Rovers just have to be a little bit careful, but Burnley aren't really pushing them as Marcus Bent totally fools Mitchell Thomas. Brings the ball forward, down towards Jansen, really opening up now. He's got Dunn behind him, he's got Marn in the centre. Marn takes it first time and puts it wide, where it's almost too easy now.
It's like a five-a-side game for Rovers now. They're just breaking Burnley apart far too easy. I don't think they've got anything to offer now, Burnley, at all.
Well, Jansen held it, and the ball in for Marn. Never really had it on target. Well, Andy Payton will come on for Burnley in a moment. They're making a break on the far side through Ian Moore, and Moore's won a throw. "14 minutes gone, second half. Rovers lead here by 3-0. No one really making a run on the far side. Finally, Cook does. Rovers really should clear it. Looking for the overhead kick. Burnley pick it up again through Little down that far side. Easily dispossessed, and then he makes the foul, and that's a Rovers free kick. And here comes the Burnley second substitution. It's Andy Payton who's coming on, the leading goal scorer this season. And in the sunlight, it's difficult to tell who's coming off. But it's Kevin Ball. So Burnley will go with 3 up. Try and get something back in the game. And Kevin Ball, fans remembering what happened at Turf Moor, gets booed off the park. Well, Andy Payton was the top scorer in the second division last season. 27 goals, got the Division 2 Golden Boot Award. He's the top scorer with 8 so far this season. Headed by Flickcroft. Bent brings it down. Flickcroft again. And straight through this time to Makopoulos. So look at the watch. We've played 15 minutes in the second half. A second half that's really continued, much the first half did. Back header from Thomas goes back to Makopoulos. The only danger really to Rovers in the game ever since they went 1-up Stuart Metcalfe is their own complacency.
Well, that's right, yeah. I mean, Graeme Souness just said, like, if you want any injuries, just play the ball nice and easy, make Burnley do all the running, which they've done consistently all the game. They've made Burnley chase the ball all afternoon, and they haven't been at the races at all, Burnley.
Rovers throw down the right-hand side, in to Flickcroft. Rovers 3, Burnley 0. Ball swung across, looking for Bjornaby down the left. Controls it. Back into the centre it goes, and Marn again. Is he going to try another one? He is! And he's getting closer, and Makopoulos this time had to make the save. And once more, Alan Marn, lurking just outside the penalty area, wasn't closed down.
They give him far too much time, Burnley. I mean, Alan Marn had time to put the ball down, look up and have a shot on goal without any Burnley player challenging him.
16 minutes gone, second half. Rovers corner number 8. Bjornaby there, and totally unmarked is Flickcroft. His header wasn't on target. Rovers will pick it up, Dunn. Charge down this time. Falls to McAteer. Good ball out to the left-hand side. And Bjornaby once more. Again, totally unmarked. Burnley have gone here. Dunn tries to pick it up on the far side, but Burnley have stopped even trying to close down now, Stuart, haven't they? They look like mentally they've gone.
Yeah. They totally can't live with Rovers. Rovers are passing the ball about intelligently, making Burnley do all the running.
Bjornaby down the left. Back into Marn again. Is that Short who's forward? It is. Jansen picks it up first. Short wants it played to him. Jansen goes back instead to Dunn. Now into Craig Shaw. Rovers are stroking it about. Marn to Bjornaby down the left. Ball played into the centre looking towards Jansen. Headed out by Thomas. Headed back in by Flickcroft. Short picks it up again. Playing as an extra forward at the moment. Marn wants someone wide. Bjornaby Laid down the line from Moore again. Rovers just toying with this Burnley defence. Ball played in for Jansen. Tried to volley it. Mark Hughes down to the top corner. I think the player, Paul Smith, just about got to him as he took the shot, but Stan Ternent watching for the touchline, hand on hips, he knows the game's over.
Yeah, I don't know what other thing he can do really now. He's made his substitutions, and really Burnley just got to play for pride now.
Burnley playing 3-4-3 at the end of this game, but it's not made any difference. Rovers lead here by 3-0. Payton can't keep it under control. Back it goes to Rovers and Bjornaby. 17.5 minutes gone in the second half. Rovers here lead by 3-0. Game Byrne let the ball bounce. Mitchell Thomas didn't really get there. Cox will clear. In goes Curtis. Header on. Little tries to get there first. Moore beat him to it, but Thomas is the furthest player back. Headed by Bjornaby. Into the centre. Dunn tussling with his man. And nearly giving away the free kick. Burnley have it through the middle, through Paul Cook. And Effect is in the playmaker role, but can't see anything further forward. Swing out wide to the right-hand side, up against Craig Short. Well, that was a rather soft free kick, but it's given. Ian Moore winning it. And Paul Cook to take it. For once a little bit of space there, but across came Curtis to clear up the line, looking towards Jansen on halfway. Jansen, foot comes in from Mitchell Thomas. It's out for Rovers throw. And I think, as you were saying, Stuart Metcalf, the only thing we'll look at now probably is whether Graeme Souness will make some changes.
I would have thought he will do. I mean, especially in important games they've got coming up. I don't think he wants to play anymore. Give all the players a good game.
Now Bent takes it early, and Nicopolis went down. Really, Marcus Bent. Graeme Souness turns away in disgust. Marcus Bent could have taken that on quite a bit further before striking it. It was one-on-one with the keeper, and he went for glory. I think it's Craig Hignett who's about to come on for Rovers. I've just seen, I think, Craig Hignett taking his tracksuit top off.
I think Rovers will be going to Dubai again, Gary, I think. It's done in the world of good. They look a shade quicker than Burnley off the ball.
Bjornaby.
The first to the ball, Burnley's second best all afternoon.
Flitcroft being fouled. Still gets the ball back to Berg. Bent can't quite get there. Davis, terrible touch. Dunn fouled. McAteer picks it up. Rovers back through Curtis. Goes back to Friedel. 20 minutes gone, second half. Flag's gone up on this near side for offside. Burnley free kick, and here comes the Rovers change, and it is Craig Hignett who's about to come on. It's just a question of who Graeme Souness wants to change. Well, they thought they were going to make the change. Burnley play on, played into the centre, looking towards Taylor. Now, chance to bring it down, chance maybe here for Payton. And he did his best to get in there. Friedel slides and stops it going behind for a corner kick, but Andy Payton, if you do give him a chance in and around those sort of areas, he is dangerous.
Yeah, he's a good goal scorer, but the ball just wouldn't come down for him there.
Rovers still waiting to make that change. 21 minutes gone, second half. It's Rovers 3, Burnley 0. It's been one of those games, Stuart, where the scoreline tells the story, really.
Yeah, you can even see Rovers going on and getting another goal.
Headed on by Jansen. Bent can't get on the end of it. Cleared away by Cox. Back into the Rovers half. And back to Friedel. The game just going through a little bit of a lull at the moment.
Yeah. All Rovers need to do now is keep possession of the ball and let Burnley do the running, which they have done most of the afternoon.
Headed on by Flitcroft. Finds Jansen. McAteer made the run. Ball doesn't find him. It's out of a Burnley foot. But from the far side, are Rovers ever going to make this substitution? Looks like play's going to go on with the Rovers throw. Craig Hignett standing on the touchline. McAteer tries to flick it on, and it's picked up by Paul Smith. And Smith wins the free kick. And we're going to see the second Rovers change now. Craig Hignett coming on, and it's Jason McAteer. It's a like-for-like swap. I'm sure Jason McAteer would have loved to have scored as he did at Turf Moor, but McAtee has not had too much first-team football recently. Maybe that's one of the reasons for the change.
Yeah, I think it's common sense just making changes like that. And, you know, I would have thought he'd make it one or two more as well.
Well, every Rovers substitution will get a standing ovation. On comes Craig Hignett. We did actually, earlier in the season, run a little bit of a book on how many times Jason McAtee had been substituted this season. I think it turned out to be more than 50% of games he'd started. I think he wanted to stay involved in this one as well. Cook, header on by Moore, no one on the end of it. Flitcroft in midfield, midway through this second half. And here's David Dunn going forward. Bent's made the run, the ball's just slightly ahead of him, means Thomas should get there first. The shot came in. It wasn't a bad effort as well for Marcus Bent. You would have put money on the defender getting there first, Stuart, but Bent got in there.
Yeah, showed his pace again, Marcus Bent.
Little, one of the Burnley players to be booked. Cook gives it away, but Bjornaby can't keep hold of it for Rovers. And gradually Cox has started to push forward. It's Cox down the right-hand side at the moment. Ball laid in towards Little. Ball chipped through. It's a poor delivery again, and they did have options because Moore had sneaked in down the Burnley right-hand side, but again it's the quality of the balls from midfield that's been the problem all afternoon. Now Rovers, Marn, flag stays down. Matt Jansen with a chance to have a run in that goal here. Jansen to pull the trigger and make it 4-0, and that rounds off a perfect day for Rovers. 69 minutes gone. Jansen broke the offside so simply. It's his second goal of the afternoon. It's his 17th league goal of the season, and it's Rovers 4, Burnley 0.
Yeah, as again, Matt Jansen just had too much pace for him. They couldn't live with him, and he drew the goalkeeper out and just slipped it in the bottom corner. It was like a practice match goal.
Well, when the ball was played, there was a player offside, but Jansen wasn't the one. Bent stopped running, and the defence just couldn't get to him. I just said a few seconds earlier that Cox has started to push forward out of that centre-back position, and it was he that was cut out of position so Jansen could go through.
Could have been caught all afternoon.
Well, this is turning from a good victory into an old-fashioned drubbing here, isn't it? 25 minutes go in the second half. And you wouldn't bet it to stay at 4-0 either.
No, there's still plenty of time for Rovers to get a couple more yet. I think Burnley just give up the goals now completely. They're showing no fight at all.
I would have thought, from the other point of view, this will tell Stan Ternent a lot about his side and who he wants to keep during the summer
that's
as
right,
well.
Yeah, that's right.
Here's Bent. Marner made the run this time. Bent holds it. Flitcroft just stretched and got there. Done. Oh, easily past two. Stabs the ball through to Jansen. Jansen going through again inside the area. And Hignett will pick it up. Plays the ball back in, and this time comfortable for the keeper, but there was a massive parting of the waves at the back for Burnley once more, and that should really have been 5.
Yeah. Every time Rovers go down the middle, they look like they're going to score.
Here's Payton on his own, tries to get through Berg, comes off Curtis. Friedel racing to get there, gets his body there. And again, the Rovers keeper does well. As I said, it's almost too easy, isn't it?
Well, it's like you said, they just give up the goals now, Burnley. They're playing for the pride, and they're going to make another substitution now as well, Burnley. But
it's Gordon Armstrong who's waiting to come on. More defensive-minded player, really. Forward to Jansen, chested down to Flitcroft.
I don't think there'll be any Burnley players in the bar after the game, I don't think.
Rovers still full of running. Here's Curtis down the right-hand side. Hignett short. Flitcroft. Played into Bent on the edge of the area. Hignett's trying to make a run forward. Bent again taking his man on. Gets past him easily. Sliding challenge comes in second time. Bent tries to get back on his feet. Burnley should just about clear at this time, but he's got the beating of Ian Cox every time, hasn't he?
Yeah, it's just far too quick for him.
Well, we're talking about that substitution. Armstrong about to come on when the referee's attention can be shown, and Mark Hughes is about to come on for Rovers as well. Now the Burnley substitution is Ian Moore going off for Gordon Armstrong, and that to me says damage limitation from Stan Ternent, taking the forward off. Now, which player's going off? Is it going to be Matt Jansen who goes off for Rovers, who took that knock earlier on in the game? It's actually going to be a change. It's Henning Berg who's going off. So another standing ovation. As we said, there's no need to risk players, I guess, with 8 games to come still left during the month of April. So Hughes comes on. And at the moment he's going into midfield.
Yeah, he'll just drop into midfield now, Mark Hughes.
So Martin's gone down the left. Bjornaby and Short and Curtis will play as the 3 centre-backs. I think that down the right-hand side. The ball is chipped in. Now, half a chance here if it can be brought down, but again, it's Mark Hughes who's back. Puts it straight out of play. Goes out for Burnley throw. I'm sure that a lot of perhaps some Rovers management will think, well, can we just get ourselves through the rest of this game without any injuries? I'm sure the Rovers fans would like to see Rovers make 5, 6, 7, 8 now.
Well, yeah.
Marnes clearance upfield, looking towards Jansen. Reminder, of course, Sheffield United visitors here on Wednesday. And that should be a more difficult game in theory against Neil Warnock's team. Then the trip to struggling QPR on Saturday. And then another big game, Fulham, a week on Wednesday. That comes off the Rovers player. And I think Alan Marne was a little bit lucky there because the referee's given a Rovers goal kick.
Nothing's gone right for Burnley all afternoon. Let's say from much Graeme Souness' side, they've prepared well and they look more up for the game than what Burnley have all afternoon.
It's Rovers 4, Burnley 0 with 16 minutes left. And I suppose if you're a Burnley fan, I suppose you can't even leave the game early, can you? Because you've got to get back on the coach afterwards.
Burnley suppose they just want to hear the final whistle as quick as possible.
Long ball over the top, looking for the chase through the middle. It's a great challenge from Craig Short. The Burnley fans were appealing, but Short got the ball. And it was Gareth Taylor who got through. But Short really hasn't done anything wrong all afternoon, has he? So it's going to be a free kick, and the ball was kicked away. The foul was on David Dunn.
I'd be surprised if he didn't take David Dunn off now before he maybe gets an injury now, which they can do without now really in the last 15 minutes of the game.
Well, he's made all 3 subs, Stuart, so I think David Dunn wouldn't want to come off anyway.
No.
23,442. Rovers romping to an easy victory here, and I think there'll be 1 or 2 First Division managers. Most of them are probably aware of what Rovers offer. We're watching this game out on television at the ground this afternoon. We've said during the season that Rovers have got a lot of home wins, but quite often they've been scrappy affairs and they've had to battle away for a lot of the time to actually make those victories. This afternoon's been different.
Yeah, they've been superb all afternoon, Rovers. The passing's been good, the movement off the ball has been very good.
Inside the final 15 minutes, I suppose it's one of those afternoons where you give everyone at least 8 out of 10, but it's a little bit early. But if I mention Craig Short, who else has impressed this afternoon?
Well, I think they've all impressed. Every one of Rovers players today have been tremendous. I mean, Breven Bradfield has made saves when he's had to make saves. You know he's not had a lot to do, but he's made 1 or 2 important saves at crucial times.
It's all been based around that solidity provided by Flitcroft and Moore in midfield, though, isn't it? That's
yeah,
the key.
Those 2 have been superb this afternoon.
Burnley's free kick.
You couldn't really fault any Rovers player this afternoon.
Hughes heads out, down by Jansen, and here come Rovers again through David Dunn. Jansen wants it played, Dunn wants to score a goal, I think. Still going, goes down, no free kick, no penalty, Dunn still battling away. David Dunn can't believe it.
No, really, you were a bit selfish there. He could have put Matt Jansen in again there.
I tell you what, as soon as he picked it up, there was no way he was passing that, was there?
He's dying to score a goal, isn't he?
Another foul on this near side. Another Rovers free kick. Well, I think the referee's going to show a bit of leniency there. I think it was just the fact of tired legs. But as we watch David Dunn going through again.
See, Graeme Souness is having a go at David Dunn. He should have given him.
Well, Jansen was in an excellent position, wasn't he, to slot it in.
He would have scored, definitely.
Matt Jansen, of course, is on the hat-trick. Chests it down now, down the Rovers' left-hand side. Tries to get past Thomas. It's Rovers 4, Burnley 0. 13 minutes left. I could quite watch this game all afternoon, Stuart, you know.
Well, I think a lot of people will be buying the video of this game, won't they?
Is that a hint to our producer there? Burnley with a throw. It's midway inside their own half. Davis will take it. Mark Hughes is playing a midfield role here, isn't he, really, at the moment? And picks it up now. Spreads it to Jansen. They want it played early. It's Hignet's ball down the far side. Just drifts away from him. Gets Burnley a chance to get players back. Dunn onto that near post surprise. It's played back in towards the centre. It's headed out by Cox. Again, Burnley struggling to clear it. Marn gets there first. He's got support behind him should he need it. Tries to trick his way through and gets past one. Tries to get past the second one. Still on his feet. Picked up by Jansen. And finally Burnley come away with it. Paul Weller. And then one or two strange challenges going in. Burnley win the free kick. Again, Stan Ternent having words with his team. Graeme Souness is down on the touchline as well. To be fair to Mr. Butler, I think he's controlled this sort of game as well as you could do.
He's done very well. He's let the game flow as much as possible.
Header on, looking towards Payton, tried to bring it down. Rovers have 3 defenders back, and it's Craig Short again, who I'm sure is going to get man of the match, who clears it on the far side. Sticking my neck out there, but as Stuart was saying, there's quite a few players who could be in for that. Taylor beaten to it by Marn. Marn trying to stick in there. Burnley have a throw. 11 minutes to go. Rovers leading by 4 goals to 0.
And the Burnley support, when you're looking at the down and now, the Burnley supporters are very quiet. They can't believe what they're seeing here.
Well, you want your team at least to play with a bit of passion. You would know it would be a difficult away game, this, but a terrible ball again. Jansen plays it through towards Ben. Ben just got it caught under his feet, showed too much to the keeper, still going through. Did the keeper bring him down? No. It's a goal kick.
No, I think the referee was right there. I mean, I think it was his momentum that took him over there, really. The goal, I don't think the goal affected him.
We'll get a second chance to look. Great ball by Jansen. Bent comes to the edge of the area. He's got the player with him.
He just overrun it a little bit. I don't think the goal didn't make any. Just his momentum took him onto the goalkeeper there.
Oh, Rovers are taking the chances. It could be, what, 7 or 8 by now?
Easily.
Bjornaby looks long. Bent was offside when the ball was played. And we're winding down the final 10 minutes. Graeme Souness has been more agitated in the last few minutes than he has for the rest of the game.
He probably thinks like Rovers aren't passing the ball exactly like they should be doing now, but when they're in control of the game. 1 or 2 of the players now are running with it a little bit more.
Still having a go at the linesman on this near side for the non-penalty decision. Now here's Mark Hughes. Jansen pulls back across to pick it up in midfield. He's got Dunn making a break down the left. Jansen brings it forward. David Dunn picks it up. Flitcroft.
That's what he wants him to do now. Just pass the ball about and let Burnley do the running.
Hughes now. Now Craig Short. Bjornaby. And now Marn. Into Hughes again, and Burnley players are just strolling about now. Hughes thinks about playing it long, looking towards Marcus Bent. Brings it down. Played the ball through early, looking towards Flitcroft, who's broken the offside again. Didn't really have the pace to get past Steve Davis, still going there, and it's off the Burnley defender, and Rovers have corner number 9.
Yeah, that's what Graeme Souness want to see. 89 passes strung together then, and then they put a great ball through to Gary Flitcroft and lucky not to get his crossover again.
9 minutes left. Rovers corner down the right-hand side. Leading here by 4 goals to 0. Craig Short, not surprisingly, has gone forward. Flitcroft and Dunn work on the edge of the box. Played in the centre. Might fall to Flitcroft if he can bring it down. Plays back to Hughes. Back in it goes towards Jansen. Chests it down. It's been Barrett went through. Jansen back on his feet. Was he brought down the second time? Well, I think he had a good shout there.
Yeah, I think that could have been a penalty. I'd like to have a look at that again.
Hughes. Play back into Bent. There's 2 of them in here. This is Craig Hignett. It's 5-0. It's 5-0. They were queuing up to get the fifth. And this is a good old-fashioned rout. 8 minutes left. Rovers 5, Burnley 0.
Totally demoralised the Burnley players now. They just don't know who to pick up now. You'd think Blackburn had 20 players on the pitch for the time and room they've got.
Well, when the ball was played through, either Bent or Hignett could have got on the end of it.
They were queuing up to score there.
And Burnley have fallen to pieces in this second half. 7.5 minutes left. Rovers 5, Burnley 0. And it's turned into really a humiliating afternoon for Stan Ternent, really. As Burnley push forward. Have they won a corner? They have.
Looking at this performance, it's a good job Burnley got a few points before Christmas, because they would have been, on this form, they would have been struggling for relegation.
Well, this will be the first corner of the second half, which tells its own story. 7 minutes left. Played into the centre. Up goes Short. Wins the header. Falls now to Mark Hughes. Benton Jansen waiting on the halfway line. David Dunn plays the ball early, looking towards Jansen. Almost got in there again. And again, Burnley's defending was poor. This time it was Thomas who totally lost a flight in the air.
It just seems to be like having one-on-one positions all the time, where one Rovers plays against and just one Burnley defender back.
7 minutes left. 75-0. There's still time yet.
Oh, you can see Rovers scoring again easily.
Payton, who's not really had much of a kick since he came on.
Yeah, but to be fair to that, he's had no balls put through to him. He's been playing on his own, really.
It's a free kick. Foul on Matt Jansen by Mitchell Thomas. I said right at the start of the game, Stuart, that Burnley's defence was quite elderly and they've been exposed to that.
Yeah, it's shown today, yeah, that's shown. Just haven't been able to live with Rovers.
Here's Hignett bursting through down the right-hand side. Looked like he was being held by Smith. Can't keep hold of it. Cleared up towards the halfway line. Ball chipped up now towards Taylor. Burnley struggling to get outside their own half. Would have been made forward by Weller, but Burnley have held it. This is Glenn Little now. Into Weller this time. Short goes with him. Manages to turn. Burnley have 4 forward this time. Hughes can't get at his man. That's a ridiculous challenge really by Mark Hughes at this stage in the game. And this is probably Burnley's best chance of the second half really to do something here. It's a free kick just outside the D. Rovers being pushed back 10 yards by the referee. Well, it'd take the gloss off it if Burnley were to score. It would still be an emphatic victory, but that was a rather needless free kick. Now what do we think? Paul Cook maybe to take this one left-footed? It's fairly central. Cook tries to flick it in, and that's comfortably headed clear by Short. Cook picks it up again. Spreads it wide to Smith. Now Smith. Back in it goes. And it comes off Craig Short again. And cleared away. Up towards halfway. Bent goes to close down Thomas. It's just floated back in. The flag's already up for offside. And Stuart Metcalfe are inside the final 5 minutes.
Yeah, as I say, it's been a tremendous afternoon for all Blackburn Rovers supporters today, and just hope there's no trouble after the game. The Burnley supporters so far have been very well behaved. I mean, there's been 1 or 2 brilliant performances. Well, from every Rovers player, I think they've done tremendous today. But for me again, Matt Jansen again up front, he's the difference for me. When he gets them chances, he very rarely misses them. I know Craig Short scored 2 goals. Well, I think the second goal was Davis's, but I think Matt Jansen's been a revelation, especially the second half.
Right, Elsa goes down again. Referee doesn't give a free kick. Play goes on with McCopples clearing upfield. Wasn't too complimentary about the goalkeeper earlier on, but certainly in the second half has had no chance with any of the 3 goals there. Thomas. To Hignett. Now into Hughes. Curtis down the right-hand side. Hignett again. Tried to play it in towards Jansen. It's Ian Cox who brings it out. Burnley giving it away again. He is Bent. Jansen trying to stay on side. And did just enough to get it back off Marcus Bent. Played in rather lazily first time to Payton. On his own up front. Skips around Hughes. Short comes across. Payton gets his body in the way and ensures a Burnley throw. Again, it's another good ball. David Dunn looking quite tired, but I'm sure he'll fancy another run forward. Waiting for Marn to make headway down this left-hand side. Benton Jansen further forward. Into David Dunn again. Flitcroft is the short ball, as is Hughes. Into Hignett. Mark Hughes playing alongside Flitcroft in midfield. Ball chipped in, looking again towards the man. Rovers player got in there first, and in the end, well, you can't believe it, can he? Because he's desperate to score, is David Dunn. And he got a touch on it, and the keeper somehow stopped it. Credit for the keeper there, who stood up well, but David Dunn, what did he give to score in this game? Hignett. Into Curtis, now Hughes. Back it'll go to Friedel. 2 minutes left. We've not been told officially the man of the match award, but I think, well, there's a couple of candidates. Obviously, Matt Jansen, like you mentioned, Stuart, and Craig Short, and Gary Flitcroft, I'm being told, is the one who's actually got the decision. I think any of those three could have got it, though. Burnley just starting to get a little bit of space late on in the game, but can they do anything with it? Just one or two balls to go, like Mark Hughes blocked his man. It's Glenn Little making the run. I suppose it's good to get Mark Hughes on as well, because he can't be totally match fit, because he hasn't really played a lot recently.
No, and I've done him a bit of good, like I said, again, the stretch this afternoon.
So it's 8 games left in the month of April. And that is Marcus Bent, I think, who's down on the far side. Dave Fever, the Rovers physio, waits on the touchline with 90 seconds to go. Well, it was really the way that Bent fell, I think, and then Thomas sort of walked all over him as Bent went down. Marcus Bent is back on his feet. The Rovers here to play out time, I would suggest. Well, when we looked at the game beforehand, Stuart, I fancied a Rovers win quite strongly, but I think I wouldn't have put money on the 5-0.
No, you wouldn't have predicted this score, no. No, I thought Burnley would have had more pride than what they played this afternoon.
And how does this set Rovers up then for the rest of the season? There's so many games in April, but if there's one squad that can cope with it, surely it's Rovers' squad.
Well, that's it. That's the difference between the two sides this afternoon, the depth and quality of the squad.
Smith does well to keep it in play. Plays it in early, and Friedel commands his 6-yard box again and throws it out. Maybe a last chance for Rovers to get forward in normal time. 30 seconds left. Here's Alan Moore. Jansen wants it played in short. Trying to look at the trickery and almost tricked himself there. And Burnley this time have numbers back. Don't really look like keeping hold of it for too long though, and Bent almost got through again. Last ditch stuff by Weller to get it back to Mikopoulos. And if the game at Turf Moor was memorable, I think this will stay in the old memory banks, Stuart Metcalf, for a long, long time.
Yeah.
Hughes chips the ball through with 2 minutes left. That's 2 minutes of time added on. Now Payton. Does he fancy a run at the Rovers defence? Curtis in front of him, but the flag's already up for offside on the far side. Played in early. Mikopoulos outside his area with the header clear. Again, Rovers are still the quicker to react. So as I say, 2 minutes to add on, and well, I could watch this game all afternoon, I must say. I think Rovers, though, will take a little bit of a breather after this, with 2 more games this week. And here's David Dunn. Bjornaby. Back to Short. I think in fairness, probably everyone bar David Dunn will quite like the full-time whistle now, Stuart.
I think David Dunn will go for goal again here now.
He's looking very tired, isn't he, at the moment?
He is, yeah.
He played a minute of time added on, and Burnley giving it away again. Here's Marn, Dunn really out on his feet on the halfway line. Marn playing it in towards Jansen inside the box. Jansen just sit back, Hignett! He's put it wide. The goal was gaping for number 6. It was almost too complicated. Matt Jansen on a hat-trick, could easily have taken it on himself. Tried to play Craig Hignett for his second, and in the end just didn't quite get enough on it.
No, to be fair to Mitch, they just got a last-ditch tackle in there. They look very tired now, Burnley.
30 seconds to go. Rovers 5, Burnley 0. I will shut up in a moment because there will be a din you never heard around Ewood Park in a few seconds' time. As Weller picks it up. Alan Marn goes back. I reckon that's the corner. And we're 2 minutes of stoppage time played. This is Burnley's second corner of the second half. And this will be Glenn Little to take it. Takes it short. And Rovers just have to be alert here. Back to Little, pulling across side. It wasn't. It's chipped back in. Surely they're not going to get a consolation now. Well, they could have done. There were 3 or 4
Should
in
have
there.
done, really, yeah. Burnley head should have got to that there, really.
Marcus Bent into Craig Short. Played up along the line. Referee will check his watch. We've played 2 minutes of time. Added on. And that is enough for Mr. Butler on a famous afternoon for the blue and whites. Craig Short got the first, had a big hand in the second one. Rovers 2 up at half-time. A couple of goals for Matt Jansen to take his league tie to 17 for the season. And then Craig Hignett, who came on as a second-half substitute, got one, could so easily have got a second. It's turned into a rout here at Ewood Park. The full-time score, it's Blackburn Rovers 5, Burnley 0.
I thought the first half we didn't play a lot windy. I thought the first half we found ourselves 2-0 up without playing any football. You know, Burnley worked hard to stop us playing in the first part, and eventually they couldn't keep with us, and I think that's when we started to get joy in the second half. We passed it around well second half, and we scored 5 and could easily have had more.
I think 1 or 2 people I know have a flutter on me because it's 40-1 or 50-1, you know, and on the odd occasion, obviously, you're going to score, but I'm disappointed I've not scored more over the last few years, you know. I was doing okay until 1996.
He kept shouting when he scored, he kept shouting, that's my first goal in 5 years. And then when he scored the second, he goes, that's my second goal in 5 years. So it was brilliant for him, and that, you know, we really built on that, and it was a great second half.
It's given us a big lift. We knew it was such an important game after being away. We could have been criticised if we'd come back and lost, saying, what are you doing taking them away to, you know, for 7 days. We trained hard over there. Other teams are going to keep going. You know, they've got nothing to lose. We were favourites at the start of the season to go up. Fulham have obviously just about clinched promotion. So it's going to be a tough few next couple of weeks. If we can really get our head down and keep our foot on the gas for the next 2 weeks, we could hopefully more or less have it sewn up. But it really is dangerous to get carried away.
We've got some young players in the team who were showboating a wee bit towards the end. And
Good fun though, wasn't it?
well, yeah, the supporters enjoy it, but we professionals don't enjoy it. You know, you're looking, like you say, at the end of the day, the goal difference might be important. And for David Dunn, the bugger, I'm going to kick him up the arse when I go back in there. For Alan Mann, for Matty as well, all wanting to show how clever they were. But I think we are being greedy and maybe hard on them. But
Yeah, there was a couple of chances. I went around the keeper, but he just got a hand to it, and I felt that I was taken down from behind when I was clean through, and Donny went on a mazy and he could have slipped me in, but he's like that. He was tremendous today, hard working again today, so I'm happy with the 2 goals. It puts me on 18 now, so I'm delighted.
Well, you know, as I said earlier, games get stretched. There's so many players who are so good going forward with the ball, you know, we have got a team full of flair players, and that's a dangerous thing in this league. You've got to do the spade work, and the manager keeps drilling that into them. And this season they've done it well, you know, and their ability is going to be a natural ability, and they'll always have that, but as long as they learn different sides of the game, where in this division it is a scrap sometimes, and sides who will come here want to make it a scrap.
That's what we want to just keep them going. I'll sacrifice my goals if we get promoted, but, you know, it's always great to score.
we're not going to get carried away. We've had a great day today, you know, let the punters enjoy themselves, and I'm sure they will. Still, it's only 2 o'clock, still get to the pub. So they'll enjoy themselves, we'll enjoy ourselves, but we have another big game on Wednesday. And, you know, we've put ourselves into a strong position, that's all we've done.